Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, I said in previous videos that the chances of Omoyele Sowore spending Christmas with his family are between slim and none. So now today is the 2nd of December, and the chances of this guy being released seems even more remote than ever before. So with that guys, I bring you this. Rather than free Sowore, Buhari, Nigerian government wants them transferred to prison. This is a headline attributed to Falana. So again, rather than free Sowore, Buhari, Nigerian government wants them transferred to prison, and this is a headline being attributed to Sowore's lawyer Femi Falana. A lawyer, Femi Falana, on Sunday said the federal government has applied to the Federal High Court in Abuja for an order to transfer the publisher of Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, and his co-accused Olawale Buhari from the custody of the State Security Service (SSS) to prison. Masters Sowore and Buhari have been in the custody of the SSS since August. They were arrested for planning a protest popularized with the hashtag Revolution Now. The SSS had refused to release both men despite two separate court orders. The two men are facing trial on 7 counts of treasonable felony, fraud, cyber stalking, and insulting President Muhammadu Buhari. In a letter dated the 1st of December and addressed to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Mr. Falana, who is the lawyer representing the accused, requested the minister to direct the SSS to release his clients. Mr. Falana urged Mr. Malami to ensure compliance with the orders of the courts. The senior counsel also threatened to report the AGF and Hassan Liman, the prosecutor appointed by the minister to prosecute the publisher and his co-accused, to the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) and the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee to take disciplinary actions against them for allegedly encouraging the SSS to continue to disobey the orders of court for his client's release. Mr. Falana said, in treating the court order with provocative contempt, the State Security Service has insisted on approving the sureties of our clients after they have been verified by the Federal High Court. From the information at our disposal, there is no precedent whatsoever for the illegal demand. Instead of purging the security agency of such contempt of Federal High Court, the prosecutor, Dr. Hassan Lawan, SAN, engaged by your good self to prosecute our clients, has curiously applied to the trial court to have them transferred to a correctional center and detained indefinitely for having the temerity to question the illegal directive to produce their sureties. The senior lawyer added that, in view of the fact that the federal government has never given any precondition before complying with the orders of the British court in the case of P and ID and other matters, we are compelled to request you to direct the State Security Service to comply with the orders of the Federal High Court for the unconditional release of our clients. Take notice that if you fail to accede to our request, we shall be compelled to carry out the firm instruction of our clients to pursue the contempt proceedings which have been initiated against Mr. Yusuf Bichi, the Director General of the State Security Service. In addition, we shall also report your good self and the prosecutor to the Nigerian Bar Association and the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee for encouraging the State Security Service to treat orders of Nigerian courts with disdain whilst you are anxious to obey the orders of British courts, Mr. Falana said. So, as I said, the chances of Sowore spending Christmas with his family is really very slim, if not none, really, because you have to think now that we're in December, and I've been saying this all the way through. The moment that they did not release that guy immediately, I immediately then had the understanding that they had no intentions of releasing him. So now they are now asking him to go and produce his sureties so that they can vet them. Well, the sureties have already been verified by the law courts, as has been said by his lawyer, Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria for that matter, and there's no precedent for this sort of a request ever in the history of Nigeria. So now it's effectively these people now creating their own law, or being a law unto themselves. Effectively is now what is going on. So a court sets something, and then you set a precondition for a court judgment, so which now supersedes the law court or the SSS, because the law court, of course, are the arbitrators of the Nigerian constitution. They're the custodians of the Nigerian legal system, and they are the ones that have judgment and understanding of how the Nigerian legal system and the constitution applies. So if the law court now, a justice of a federal high court, makes a pronouncement, and then you are putting a caveat on that pronouncement, then you are effectively saying then that you either one know more than the judge, which in effect then means that you know more than the constitution, or you are operating outside of the law. So effectively these people are operating outside of the law now, and if they are refusing to release Sowore to Falana and all of the people that have gone there to request for his release, then they have no intentions of releasing him. So now they are now applying to have him removed from the DSS quarters to prison, effectively Kuje prison, almost certainly. So now if they are saying release this guy, but you are now moving him from detention to prison, then of course that is the direct opposite of what the law requires you, in fact instructs you to do, because the law is not required. The law doesn't make a request, the law gives an instruction. So it's a direct instruction from the law to these people to say, look, release this chappie and let him be on his way. We have put conditions to this bill, and these conditions have been met, and it was to stay within the parameters of Abuja. So now why now he's not being released is really beyond anybody. But of course, instead of him being released, they are now taking him to Kuje prison. And Femi Falana, of course, has been raising this alarm all the way through, like that, look, it looks as though they're not going to release this guy. They're just trying to cook up even fresh charges to level against him, so that they can then say that these are the new charges now. Because if you think that this Malame chap, the Attorney General, is a law person himself, and is meant to be the person that sits at the head of the Nigerian legal structure, and he is standing by and is not giving clear directions. So if he's not giving clear directions to the DSS, and then the DSS are operating, because the DSS, by the way, they cannot be operating on their own. They cannot be holding this guy onto this guy rather on their own out of just sheer stubbornness by themselves. No. They have to be having the tacit approval of peoples that are senior to them, because this is a high-profile situation and indeed an international situation. So the DSS, the SSS, the blah blah blahs, and the ding-dong dings that are holding on to this fella, they cannot be holding on to him without the tacit and indeed the complicit consent and assent of the people that are superior to them. And who are these people superior to them? We're talking about Yusuf Bichi, we're talking about, of course, the Attorney General of the Federation, and we're talking about the President, because none of these three people that I've listed can claim not to be aware of this high profile case. I don't think Malam Buhari can ever, even somebody like Malam Buhari, who we do not give a lot of credit, cannot say that he's not aware of the Sowore situation. So if Malam Buhari is aware of the Sowore situation, and the DSS is under his direct office, because the DSS, you have to be aware, reports directly to the presidency. So they don't report to the police, they don't report to the Attorney General, they don't report to some Security Council, they report directly to the presidency. So if these people who are under his direct authority are holding on to this guy outside of the law, a law that he swore on his inauguration that he would uphold, because that is what they make you swear to. You swear to uphold the constitution of the country. This is what this guy swore to uphold when he was inaugurated as the president of the country. So if these people are now operating outside of this law, you cannot now say that you do not know. And if you know and it's still carrying on, then they have your tacit complicity. So you are complicit in it, either overtly or directly, either covertly or overtly, or directly or indirectly. In one form or the other, he's involved and he's given approval to this, because they cannot be doing this to his disapproval, because he would have weighed down on them. So now, instead of releasing Sowore, of course, now they are now looking to take him to prison, which they are now, of course, rebranded correctional facilities. So now taking this guy to prison is what is now looking like the most likely scenario. This is as opposed, of course, to releasing him as has been instructed by the law courts. Conversations in the comment section. As I said, the chances of Sowore spending Christmas with his family are between slim and none. Not that I wish this for this guy. Of course, I wish that he would be home with his family, eating turkey and fighting over the chicken wings with his children and whatnot and having fun. But of course, we all know that the chances of him ever being released, as long as Buhari is in power or is in government, well, in power really, because it's not in government really, it's in power, because these people, they operate more on the basis of power than governance. So for as long as Buhari is in power, the chances of Sowore being released are really quite remote. And we've seen this with Dasuki, we've seen this with El Zakzaki, and Sowore is another name to be added to that list. It's just this Olawale Bakare that I feel especially sorry for, because Sowore, of course, is battle hardened, and this Olawale Bakare is just a small little boy of 21, 22, and of course by the time they come out of prison now, he would have been completely jaded and they would be cynical for his age. Anyway, come tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section. Sowore is the topic of discussion yet again, and him being in detention still is what is agitating this particular video. Come share thoughts, but before you do this, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you're making of this continuing detention of Sowore outside of the law in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Join me in the comment section, but here I say peace.